Neighbourhood cats frequent my backyard because their owners don't keep them indoors or secure. They urine spray on everything and damage stuff, which is an ongoing frustration. However, now 2 native birds have started a family in our garden, in a nest that's been built way too close to ground level on the cat superhighway. Cats have killed native baby birds here in the past, so I've tasked myself with defending the nest with a humane cat repellent, while also hopefully reducing the cat urine problem. With cats being an introduced predator, the family of birds have no natural defence.
These are their stories.
In my last video, the babies have hatched and the repellent system was set into action to protect the yard. Under Sniffer dropped in on 2 consecutive nights to see what was on the menu. Then old mate Sniffer got pretty distracted by all the things there are to sniff and then relaxed with a quick bath. Tabby toilet rug, who's been pissing on our stuff for years now, managed to sneak in yet another piss on the car and then came in for a feed, but was rudely interrupted. We also had Ranger Piss Bucket, an 8-year veteran of urine spraying in our backyard, who dropped in for a midnight hunt and then showed us the correct procedure for exiting a gate and working at heights. Plus, we also explained why the gate is left open, but that didn't matter to a small minority of people who prefer to leave hate comments without watching more than a few seconds of a video to understand its full context. They're just making the world a better place. But because of that, I'll mention it again, even though I know they won't see this. The cats travel in both directions, and they just jump it, which is worse because they claw the paint on the cars that they use as a jump platform. And even if the fence is extended, they'll just jump over the side and back fence, and then if I spend the thousands to stop this, they can just jump from roof to roof here and drop in. But admittedly, also because the gate is a piece of shit and is constantly and I'm sick of fixing it because it's going to be removed in the future anyway for vehicle access. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not here for a video about gates and fences. That's a topic for my other YouTube channel, Crago's Gates and Fences. Crago's Gates and Fences, but not doors. Anyway, let's pick up where we left off. Our New Holland honeyeaters, Drogon and Rhaegal, or Drogsy and Razza as I've been calling them, have made it to day 6 of their life. They've been doing lots of bird stuff, like spending 100% of their time sitting in the nest and breathing really fast. Meanwhile, Mum and Dad have been trying to play it cool, but they're constantly on edge with the prospect of both their children being chewed to death. Cat bird hunting time is once again upon us. The spray is set up in position and ready to guard the nest. It's fairly early in the evening, not too long after people bedtime, and there's a new face dropping in for a visit. He's just powering along without a fear in the world. Plus he's already wearing a glowing baby bib, so he's all set to devour some easy prey, even though he's likely had 3 square meals today. There's a customary left sniff, right sniff, and he's also thrown in a beard cleaning face grind. Oh yeah, he makes it look so good. Not that you would, because that's a weird cat thing to do. And straight into the spray. He's then run off home to where he should have been securely kept in the first place. On our replay, we can see where he first enters, his tail is flying high, then the light switches on, and in a fraction of a second he drops his tail to the ground, quick enough to break the sound barrier. The tail ground pound wasn't enough to disable the repellent though. Looking at our first photo, he pretty much looks like me when I'm chatting with someone who spits when they talk. But no, he's just wondering if it might be starting to rain. Yes, Glowbib, winter is coming like a mother. With head fully retracted, it looks like he may have ducked under the bulk of the stream. It's hard to tell without a photo in between. Then he's taken off and the water has definitely zapped his tail there, which is probably all we need to modify his behaviour in the future. But then what's this? He's activated kangaroo mode to assist him negotiate the obstacles. This is an adaptation many domestic cats have developed since they were introduced into Australia. And it was well worth it because he has beautifully cleared the first hurdle. He's then skillfully landed on the narrow flat bar, just a little bit sideways there. He's then done splitsies over the angle bar, full Elastigirl leg extension, and he's heading home. The birds have remained safe and the yard has remained urine free. Some light rain has also set in, which should hopefully keep the cats away for the remainder of the night. It's now 2:40 AM, and what the f***? Tabby Toilet Rugger's back, a known urine slinger, so it's not hard to guess what he was doing behind the car, and his chamber pot does look full. Surely he's learned his lesson to not go through the gate? He's checking it out cautiously. Nope, he's not even stopping for a sniff and a face grind, straight into the spray. But looking at the photos, it looks like with his fast trotting pace, he may have avoided the reminder notice, slipping through the gate with a light scare. But it is enough to keep him away from the birds. The baby birds Drogsy and Razza have survived to day 7 of their life. They're still very dependent on mum and dad for bringing them food, keeping them warm at night and paying for their data usage, but their vision is improving and they look like they're doing well. However, it's still going to be some time before they're independent enough to fly their way to higher ground and away from the cat highway. With little room to work with, during the day I've attempted to move some of the obstacles to the side to allow the cats a safer, clear path. You know, we don't want to hurt them, it's not their fault their owners neglect them. But my kids have pushed a giant geodesic dome back into the path that I've cleared. The kids don't understand, unless they piss out there, it's not their backyard to play in. It's actually legally the cat's territory now. It's been a quiet night, and it's now 5 AM. And it looks like we have ourselves Turtlecat, another new character addition to Season 3. He stands at the back of the car for about 10 minutes. Something's up. Or I guess it's just one of those bathroom breaks where you even surprise yourself with the flow duration. But he knows he better get a move on, these birds aren't going to eat themselves. And he's off with a fair pace. With a little hop, he's straight through the gate like he's been here before. He takes a quick cat moment to marvel at the experience of how by walking from one side of an object to the other makes you on the other side of it. Hey, I can smell birds. Ah! And he's heading home. 2-hour replay. His plans tonight have been rudely disrupted by a decent dose of water. After the water spray, he selected home on his navigation app, which is suggesting the safe path through the kid's dome, but he's totally ignored it and taken the scenic route via the rain-slicked pile of steel. He's negotiated the slippery tubes without a problem, then jumped onto the slippery beam, but despite his full-time traction control, every leg has picked a different direction to travel in, and he's understeered straight out of the corner and stacked it into the garden. But it's all good, he quickly regains control. He gets close to the bird's nest, but his fight or flight brain is well locked into flight mode, and he's jumped the fence into a dog owner's backyard. Checking out our photos, we see he's busy sniffing out some birds, and then bang! Big water slap on the butt, which has resulted in him entering the turtle position. He's then demonstrated some great four-wheel drive style articulation with one leg up on the tubing. But then what do we have here? He's also mixed it up by entering classic kangaroo mode to take on the first obstacle. And then kangaroo mode again to bound onto the steel beam. He's then off into the garden, recovers, and drives off into the sunrise. The birds and my usually urine-soaked car cover are in luck. They've been enjoying some cat-free nights. Drogsy and Razza are now 10 days old. Just like when I was a kid, they're celebrating their 10-day birthday by having mum vomit partially chewed insects and nectar into the back of their mouth. Their feathers are filling in, and they're starting to get a lot more active in the nest, moving and looking around and I don't know, I'm not a bird expert, but they're still no larger than your thumb. I measured with my thumb. Lately, to occupy themselves during the day, they've been playing their latest favourite game. Is that mum and dad? Oh no, it's just the wind. Is that them? Oh no, it's the wind again. In revisiting the Repellent setup, the sandbag I draped around the camera tripod isn't very stable and it's spraying too high. Really just after a bit of a lower angle so we can at least wash their dirty paws. So I've upgraded the motion detected spray deterrent to its own custom steel tripod made out of tubing from an old pool fence. The sun is setting and Drogon and Rhaegal are in the nest. Mum gives them a final feed before bed, she detects that something's up, and she removes a membrane covered turd sack from their butt and flies it away from the nest to try and prevent predators like snakes and other birds from working out where the nest is. Yeah, you just saw that, probably not what you expected when you played this video. If you vomited a little, that's totally understandable. The baby birds are now asleep. They're warm and cozy under their blanket of mum's butt feathers. A mosquito is burrowing in to have a feed on mum's neck. Little bastard. Over the course of the night, some wind gusts have moved the gate and also bumped the hose going into the spray. This has tilted its angle towards the sky, so there's a chance the cats will simply slip by without the narrow detection beam seeing them. It's just after 2:30 AM and there's a bit of movement on the car cover. It might be the wind. No, it's that cat I taped to the back of my car peeling away. He's another new face, and I've named him White Mo. And what's he up to now? White Mo's tail is elevated, his foot is raised, a slight shudder. Of course, he's taken a big old piss on the back of the car cover and 1970s chrome work. F***ing yay. To clean up his thing. Putting the urine issue aside though, this is not a good situation because this tomcat is also one of the 2 prime suspects who previously killed nesting birds, and he's heading towards the yard. He briefly pauses for a quick sniff to double check the address. Yep, not my house, and he lets himself in. Now is he going to pass under the beam? No, he's copped it right in the face, while managing to pull off a mid-air pirouette. Okay, looking at our photos. In our first underexposed shot, we can see the water has deployed. And boom, it's ended up right in his face. His expression says it all. I'd probably even feel bad for him if it wasn't for the fact that I had to spend part of my morning trying to hand wash the foul cat stench out of my car cover and then somehow dry it. Also, because I know it's not that bad. Making and testing this thing, I've been unexpectedly sprayed more times than any cat ever will. It's water. Looking at our next photo, he's hit the jump button, but it's only made things worse. He's thinking, why is this still happening? The water seems to be gravitating towards his face like a magnet. And his tail fuel gauge is definitely reading maximum capacity. He has rotated out of the stream, but his back leg has experienced some lag, so he attempts to duck under it. He then launches off as a skinnier looking rain-slicked cat. Going back to our other camera, in the reflection of the car, we have another angle where we can see the events unfold. It's wax off time for the bumper, then he accelerates out of there, back home at 100% kitty power. A day has now passed, and just like the last 4.5 billion years, the night is once again upon us.
I'm the moon, y'all. Just reflecting some light all over all y'all bitches out there.
Unbelievably, Sniffer has returned for a 3rd time. Now, there are a lot of people saying that he is actually a she based on appearance, so I'm thinking, what? Like the colours, the weird dead hanging tail? And once again, I realised I'd been tricked into looking up some disturbing cat images on Google. Oh, what the f***? I don't know what I was expecting to find with that search term. But then a few comments expanded on this, and it turns out it's likely the case. Apparently, tortoiseshell cats, or torties, are almost exclusively female due to how the colouring is carried on the X chromosome, which results in their colour and their habit of laying clutches of around 140 eggs in a hole which they bury in sand. It was late at night when I researched this, but it doesn't solve any of our problems because it turns out she'll still eat wildlife and attract pit-spraying toms with her gate face juice. So she's back again. Surely Miss Sniffer understands what will happen now? She's either persevering because she's had a good meal of birds here in the past, or she actually enjoys it. And it's multiple choice time. Pause the video and place your guess and reasoning in the comments. Have a go, be honest. Does Miss Sniffer A, finally remember and retreat? B, remember nothing and get an awesome soaking? C is for cat? Or D, remember and try and go behind the sprayer? And she's gone straight into it. Looking at the photos, the new tripod is still kicked back with a little bit of recoil, and Sniffer has copped a significant drenching. She's retracted her landing gear, but it's to no benefit. She's already soaked with a full body spray. But she doesn't even seem to care. It's just an unexplained thing that's part of her daily routine now. She's then come in for a landing, and she's bounded away. Looking back at the video though, I don't know where, because this is a wall here and she's vanished, so I reckon she's hit 88 miles per hour and jumped back in time to her first visit to the backyard, and then because of her memory issues, I guess the time loop repeats infinitely. The repellent though has been working well so far, and remember, if you want to build your own, I've linked to my video about that in the description, and I've also made an ebook with more detail, including tips on using it in different ways. Like if you don't have pests, kids love it. Use it on them, no worries. How could you be so cruel to kids? Turns out it's just water. Or you can use it indoors with no water to train and deter pests from areas in your home. I'm still going to be giving away some of my prototypes too. To be in the running, be subscribed and drop a comment. But mainly you want to be subscribed because you don't want to miss part 3, which is coming very soon. And just thank you massively for everyone's support and all the great comments that have been coming through. And sorry I haven't been able to reply to everyone who's contacted me directly. I'm still getting through all of that. My name's Craig, YouTube channel is Turner81. Cheers for your support, thanks for subscribing, share this with your friends, like and such, and those things. And on your way out, feel free to take a kitten. Just take it with you, you can keep it. It's like 15 or something that visit the house now, it seems like. Yeah, catch you guys soon.
Looks like from this end,